can see the bait fish trapped in that pool down there. Hopefully a fish as well. We're out here today and we are fishing in beautiful Devon on the southwest coastal path. Now, I'm a Norfolk boy. This is very far from home. I've driven 6 hours to get here this morning. I'm quite tired, but we're going to walk and cover lots of rock mark for an array of species really. My primary target today is wrasse. However, it would be really cool if we could get bass or a few mackerel to take back for the barbecue tonight. This is just a remarkable place to fish. Nowhere feels quite as remote and rugged as the Devon coastline. I'm absolutely in love with it here, and I always make an effort to come at least once or twice a year to do this style of fishing. We've come to a really nice looking area. It's an open bay. There's a rock cluster in front of it, and we've got some really deep water straight off the ledge. So we're going to begin here, hopefully catch a few wrasse, and then as the tide begins to recede, we're going to push out further onto the rocks. These fish, they'll retreat into deeper water as the tide drops, so we need to push and chase them. If I knew the area very well, if I lived around here, I might fish it on the tide up, but there's so many gullies and weird sort of lays in the land that you could easily get cut off, so fishing it on the way out is a good way to approach it for a fresh mark. Fingers crossed we get a few here. We have got a few more spots planned for the day. So we got a rock ledge directly opposite us. Wrasse absolutely love these. The tide is slowly coming out, but we've probably got an opportunity to push a fish or two out of here. Nice little Texas rig, and we're just going to knock the bottom, give it a short pause in between. Hopefully these greedy buggers will come chasing it. So I'm expecting these fish to be feeding right in tight on top of the rocks in the structure. It's slightly deeper over that far gully. I'm not expecting them at our feet here, but when we push over later, I'd expect to catch these fish very close in. But for the moment, we're doing long range, fishing across the top of the boulders and the rocks. And fingers crossed, these fish will follow out and hit the lure on the way back. Oh, there was a hit. Oof. Just a small one, but rattly little hit. Try and get back on that rock face. Crosswind's very strong today. Growing up in Broadland in Norfolk, lure fishing for pike and predators has always been, you know, a staple. I refound my love of fishing after working a few really boring jobs that I just wasn't fulfilled in, and I decided to focus more time on it. And the lure fishing really captivated me because I could do it so mobilely. Like you can pack a rod in the car, put a backpack on, landing net mat, and just go and search out miles of waterway. And that's one thing we're not short of in England, is coastal areas. Just that sort of mobile nature of it, and that not knowing that you're going to get a hit at any moment. You can look at a spot and go, cool, that looks fishy, fish it. And it can be absolutely dire, as often it is. And then another area you can think, oh, I'll do it on a whim, it's not perhaps the best looking area, wallop, you got a fish on, and it's that jump of the heart moment that really sort of captures me with lure fishing. It's that sort of sudden, unexpected take. Sometimes it doesn't plan out like that. Sometimes you call it, you go, there's a fish there, bang, catch a fish. But the other moments, they really make your heart jump. And every single fish, whether it's a big one or a small one, feels like it counts when you're fishing with lures. Little rattler. So we're getting toyed with tiny ones here. Just going to push a little further around the rock face. Definitely some little half-pound ratters kicking around this swim. Still got a little while till we can push across onto the main rock, so we might move to that point there, try and get a better coverage of that submerged structure there. I think that's where there's more fish kicking around at the moment. So the thing that's great about wrasse fishing that I really enjoy is the terrain that they live in. They really like sort of areas of rock reef, gullies, places that are sheltered, that have an abundance of natural life. You can probably see all the winkles and limpets around us, and there's pools full of gobies. But they're also quite an easy fish to catch. I mean, on the one hand, you can go to a nice sheltered harbour wall and catch wrasse around the structure there, or you can take the extreme and go hiking miles of coastal path trying to find access to these tiny little rock outcrops, covering sometimes up to 10 miles a day. And it's just a style of fishing that's really fascinating. This right here, this is deep ledge. This is wrasse. They get right underneath this stuff. Some proper Atlantic swell rolling in now. Most of the small boats have retreated for safety. This is the really exciting setup. We'll just see if we can get a few small wrasse to get off the mark. I think we're going to have to move somewhere calmer on the coastline later on today. But if we can salvage this spot by catching a few fish, then we'll take it. And for little wrasse and little LRF species, probably the best that are going is the Berkeley gulp stuff. We'll go for this little guy. We'll rig him up on a J hook. A little Berkeley gulp shrimp imitation. These things have a scent and a smell on them that wrasse find really irresistible, so we'll see if we can catch him on this. Hopefully he isn't a really big one, because I'm going to get destroyed on this rod. There we go. Oh, it's a little ballon, this one. That's a little ballon wrasse. This is what we're after, but about 4 or 5 times that size. There we go. Best thing to do with these is just a low drop head first. They'll recover quickly from the splash and back down they go into the gullies. Sometimes with saltwater fish, a little bit of a splash as they return does kickstart them into swimming back down to where they want to be. Might just move into that deep water again in a moment, see if they're pushed out slightly. Tide is coming out fast now. There we go, that's a proper one. Oh. There we go, nice fish. Oh. Ha-ha! We're making headway. So he's not a huge fish. I got excited after catching a tiny one, but it's a step in the right direction. There's usually plenty of wrasse around this sort of size. It's actually quite lightly hooked. But if we open that, you can see those teeth in there. Look at that. Mean little barnacled crab munching teeth. It's just going to get a little bit lower so he's not being dropped so high. So he's got a couple of feet here, and I say head first, and they'll kick and bolt off. Fishing with artificial lures is the most exciting way to catch fish for me, and wrasse are one of the most hard-hitting, rugged-fighting fish. You've got moments to try and get the power on them and get them away from those snags and those rock ledges before total disaster, basically. And it's an adrenaline rush. It's not a long drawn out fight, but it's that sudden rush when you do hook into that big fish. Your drag's locked up, you're trying to power it out of the rocks, and then when it's in the net, that sort of adrenaline wears off and you're just presented with this beautiful, beautiful species. It really is quite a fascinating area to fish. My own coastline's fantastic. The East Anglian coast has some amazing bass fishing, good mackerel fishing at times a year, not to mention the rays and the hounds as well, but there's something about Devon that keeps me coming back every single year. Usually when you find wrasse, they're not lone fish. There's normally a pod in the area. There we go. Right in that turbulent water. Not a big one, but another wrasse. This one's got some really interesting colours on it. Nice speckles of orange and blue. Some of these are very pretty fish. Just going to unhook him and we'll slip him back. He was right in that turbulent water that we were talking about, just where stuff's getting washed over the rocks. Down and away he goes. There's definitely a pack of them along here.
Thank you for watching this short clip of one of our films. If you enjoyed it, there is plenty more. Head over to fieldfoodandcountry.co.uk and become a member today.